Yes, I have an honorary Juggalo card. Hey baby, that's synthetic.
Dude, I'm bringing back gatekeeping. I don't care.
Remember when you guys were saying how for the Halloween episode of Screambox you were going to do ICP paint, but then neither of you did?
You know,
I started to.
No. Yeah, and then I flaked out, and Alex was like, "Oh, cool, man."
Because I remember. I remember that.
I remember.
We'll do it this year.
Remember how we said we were gonna get tattoos too?
Not. Yeah, but the line was crazy, and also I didn't like any of them.
Yeah, I had the line up and that fucked up. It would have been sweet.
Yeah.
Oh,
but man. I remember I saw one guy getting one on his stomach, and he didn't have any other tattoos. And I know some people are like, this is super normal, and it's just me being new to it. But I saw him, like, she finished up, and he got up and he was putting his shirt back down, and she was like coming at him with the second skin, and he was like, don't worry about it. And the face I made, I was just like, oh God, like that's a big open wound on your chest. You're just walking around rubbing your t-shirt on, bumping into people at this sweaty convention. Like,
just letting it.
What are we talking about? Just letting it. Not even, dudes. Wearing like a cotton t-shirt. That's just gonna get infected for sure.
No good at all.
I can't.
We don't like that.
I cannot.
No,
that's just me.
No, I get it. Man, oh man.
What do I know? Alex is looking at me like, what do you know?
I'm chilling. I'm feeling feisty.
Did you get that feisty recently?
Maybe.
Is that a World of Warcraft t-shirt?
Kind of looks like it.
It looks tight. It looks like a 40K shirt a little bit.
The back of it
would be like Sigmar, yeah.
Yeah.
The back of it says the salt of your tears won't let flowers grow here.
Oh,
that's
man, oh man. Boys, let's just jump into this. This is episode 2 of WASD and Beyond at the movies. Man, I'll get used to it.
Dude, that was fun. That was good.
Okay. Good. We're your hosts, Nick, Noah, and Alex. We hope you guys are having a great night out there. We are kicking off this month with a bit of a theme. We are testing some things out, but we figured this is going to be pretty cool leading into something equally as cool as these movies. And we are going to talk about the Evil Dead films.
That's right.
We're going to watch them. We are going to talk about them. And that is going to lead up into the newest Evil Dead movie, Evil Dead Burn. I'm a longtime fan of Evil Dead. I know Alex is as well. Noah is new to the series. I love Evil Dead so much. I have Bruce Campbell Ash tattooed right there on my arm. I have the Kandarian dagger, and then I have the Necronomicon on my elbow. So, big fan. Yes, love the Evil Dead. Before we get into our feelings on the movie, for those who don't know, The Evil Dead is a 1981 film directed by Sam Rami. At the time Sam Rami directed this film, he was only 20 years old. So that's a nice little factoid right there. This is Michigan filmmaking at its best, though the film was mostly filmed in Tennessee on location at the cabin where the crew and the cast lived, according to legend. This set was a plethora of danger, damage, and injuries. It was very hectic on sets. And when the winter hit, it got cold and it was just shitty. This movie features a lot of cosmetics done to the actors as well. The practical effects, including contact lenses that were a nightmare to wear because they were thick contact lenses that you could barely see out of, and they hurt to put in. There's tons more information I do have about Evil Dead, but from here on out, what I will say is the movie is about a couple friends going to a cabin. Unsuspecting dangers happen in the woods, and they find the Book of the Dead, and it just goes from hell. It goes to hell from there, and that's Evil Dead, man. It's a very bumpy, chaotic ride. that a group of friends ultimately have to take, and it sucks for them, and it's awesome for us as the audience. Noah,
Hello.
this is your first time seeing truly seeing an Evil Dead film. What were your thoughts on the 1981 Evil Dead?
So we've watched a lot of 80s horror movies on this show and the Screen Box before it. And this is definitely one of those that fits in that category, I think, really, really well. It stands out in the sense that it keeps things pretty tight. Like it keeps moving at a good clip. There's not a whole lot of messing around. There's a little bit of establishing, and then it's like, all right, shit's popping off from here to the end. There's really never a slow moment from the point at which, like, the second they find that recording in the basement, in the cellar, the movie doesn't ever slow down after that point. So it definitely is a standout in that. Um, Big ups Michigan production, so that's fun. I said when we were watching it, right when it started, I was like, I once went to my friend's cabin in the woods in high school, and it looked a lot like this.
Yeah.
So it's definitely it was cool to, it's something I think a lot of Midwesterners and Michiganders especially can relate to a place like this that's in a town that has like 4 buildings, and you're not sure which house is actually the post office, kind of thing. And that, like, the setting of it, I think, really lends itself, because it's the whole thing is that they're all isolated. It's the why don't you run for help kind of thing. And at one point they do try to go for help, so they are kind of like doing what you expect. And then there's the whole premise of the person who was there before and had the Book of the Dead, and they were studying in the area, is interesting, because it's like something happened to them, but you'd never really find out what.
Yep.
Like it just said that they left, but I mean, we see what happens when people try to leave.
Yep. I mean, the woods and the demons that are accompanying the woods have it's a character in and all of itself. This movie also pioneered the demon cam, right? So like that running camera trick, which Sam Raimi and the crew does, was very, very new at the time, because as soon as you saw that camera just doing those running shots, you knew it was the demons or in the woods. And I love those shots. Those are some of my favorite shots of the movie.
So that yeah.
You know how they did that?
Then they wasn't it strapped onto them? They just would bolt through the woods.
It's taped to a piece of 2x4, what I believe correctly.
And they would just book ass through the woods,
and they just run with it in front of them.
What's the budget on this movie? Do we know?
$350,000, and that doesn't go without saying that Bruce Campbell helped save the movie financially, because he put he reportedly put up family property as collateral so the film could be completed and transferred to 35mm for theatrical release.
Hell yeah.
Raimi later credited him as a co-producer because of this contribution, which prior to this, the movie was at one point going to be called The Book of the Dead, and then there was a short film that they used to actually sell it called Cabin in the Woods. You could find that short film still on YouTube. So that is not lost media. You can find Cabin in the Woods, but the movie originally was going to be called The Book of the Dead. Sam Raimi hated it, and then they were like, "What about The Evil Dead?" And he was like, "I fucking hate that too, because it's Sam Raimi." And then he was like, "Fine, fuck it. It's better than the other one. We'll use that." Michigan factoid as well. This movie first debuted October 15th at the Redford Theater, and that's why it's always around that time you'll see Evil Dead being played there. It's because that's where it was first shown off.
We should go next year.
I've gone to 2 or 3 showings
this year.
This year?
Yeah, I'll go this year.
Yeah.
Bet.
Yep.
That's awesome. I mean, it's interesting, like what Alex's what you're saying, if they had the camera down low. By the way, that shot is usually something that we see in, like, you see that a lot in like a Crackoon or a Thanksgiving, where it's like a creature shot is often in that perspective, or like an animal's perspective is like that. And I think it's really cool. They use it pretty sparingly
Yeah.
because it's sort of vague, but we'll get into like what the Evil Dead is. But I think I think Sam Raimi made the right choice not calling it Book of the Dead, because this movie has such a legacy. It's, I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong, but over time it's sort of become an anthology series.
Now it has. Back
Yeah.
then, it was Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, which is almost a little bit of a reimagining of the first Evil Dead. Which that's why I was telling you earlier, Noah. Like once we watch that, you're gonna go. Towards the end of this film, you see more traces of Evil Dead 2. Like you see a bit more of like the hardcore aspects, the comedy aspect, the slapstick. So it goes Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. And then if you want to follow the continuity even further, you'd go Ash vs. the Evil Dead, then go to Evil Dead 2016. From there, you would go Evil Dead Rise, now Evil Dead Burn. So it's becoming a bit of an anthology based in the same universe and throughout the same timelines almost. I don't know. Bruce has come out and said he will never play Ash again. He's too old. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
Bruce Campbell also has cancer now, and that fucking crushes my soul.
Sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. But he's in good health. He says he's fine. So that's the
Hmm.
chin that could kill, buddy. He's got the most beautiful chin in the world, man.
Most handsome man in the world, straight up,
Oh,
ever.
beautiful
How old
Michigander.
was he when they made this?
Bruce
Because
Campbell,
Sam Raimi was 20.
I would say Bruce Campbell's probably around the same age.
Also, it's like that. I don't. Well, you'll have to tell me what the reception is at the time. But Sam Raimi being 20 when he made this, I mean, obviously he's a legendary
Parsons.
actor. Yeah, it's sort of a Kane Parsons story. Like, I mean, I think the big difference would be that Sam Raimi, it sounds like, had to get the funding for this on his own, and it was really scrappy. Whereas like Kane was sort of picked up by a studio, but it. I always find it interesting, like, again, I don't really know what the reception was at the time, but if it
Dangerous.
was,
This is a dangerous movie.
what do they mean by dangerous?
So in England, they would have called this a video nasty. Basically,
Okay.
it was dangerous because of the amount of violence it was showing at the time. Because movies were doing that, but they weren't doing it to the Evil Dead level, right? Like you did have Zombie, you had Cannibal Holocaust. That is all, and that's all good and well. But this movie was just on another level. They used gallons of blood in this movie, like gallons of that fake blood shit. And it also helped that Stephen King was kind of in the background saying like, hey,
Really?
this is the real deal. Stephen King was the one putting this movie on his shoulders as well, as legend is told, saying like, go see the Evil Dead. It's the scariest thing you'll ever see in your fucking life.
I mean, if the people, I mean, if you have you watched like the new It movies?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a good amount of Evil Dead in that, because to me, what Evil Dead felt like was this guy Ash. They go up, but it's really Ash being like tormented for a couple of hours, and the It movies feel like each one of the kids has their own sort of Evil Dead, where just like shit's coming out of everywhere, everything is horrible all the time, they're always covered in something, and
Yeah.
like they're just sort of suffering for a little bit. So that, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. That Sam Raimi, has he ever talked about being like a Stephen King fan?
I believe Sam Raimi has come out and said he is. I'm not sure to how true that is. A lot of like what you hear about the set and what's happened and like all the lore behind it is like coming from Bruce Campbell's mouth or the cast and the crew's mouth. So everything is like legend or like just take it for what they're telling you. But I'm unsure really how the Sam Raimi Stephen King tie. I don't know how far that goes, but I know that Stephen King championed this film
Yeah.
and Sam Raimi as a whole.
Speaking of the whole like word of mouth from like the actors, I swore I watched an interview at one point with Papa Bruce that at one point most of their gear got stolen out of the cabin,
I think it got stolen, and
and then
then
people had to start sleeping in the cabin.
that they were sleeping. That they lived in the cabin. So basically, again, from legend and whatever, the cast and crew lived in that fucking cabin. That was a real cabin. The
Mhm.
only time it's not real and it's on a set or a soundstage, I think it was in like a high school gym at one point,
They built
I'd
that
have to.
cabin in a gym.
I believe in the second movie,
That's so sick.
it's like done in like a high school gym or some shit like that. 'Cause I believe as well. There's multiple times where like Dearborn is referenced in the Evil Dead series
Hmm.
because I don't know if Sam or Bruce are from Dearborn. I don't know exactly where they're from.
Bruce is.
Bruce is from Dearborn.
Bruce is from
Yeah,
Dearborn.
but the only times that the movie was actually filmed in Michigan really was during reshoots, and those reshoots were hell. And there is times it's called like the fake Shemp. Um, there's times where you'll basically like many of the actors had gone home before like the pickup shots were done and all that, and it was finished. So Sam Raimi used stand-ins called fake Shemps, and it's a reference to Shemp Howard, but they were using other people to like complete scenes. So sometimes a hand or shoulder, it wasn't the original actor. It was like stand-ins and all that. So like there
Well,
was a whole lot of like crazy,
I
things
mean
happening.
that sort of makes sense. Like I wouldn't be surprised if some of the times when you're seeing, because for a good amount of the movie, most of the people end up in full like ghoul demon
Yeah,
makeup. So I wouldn't be surprised if like it was the actors only some of the time. I mean, that's pretty common, especially now in Hollywood, where like an actor might not want to be shellacked in makeup for 10 hours, so they'd like
yeah,
do a couple scenes where it's the actor, but then most of the time it's somebody else, unless
yeah,
you're the goat Jacob Elordi and you sit through the makeup every time. But
dude.
um
Bruce Campbell, fucking that dude.
yeah.
He didn't give he if this movie you see Bruce kick his own ass pretty hard. Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. What when you see what Bruce Campbell does in those films to himself, it's like how? how? Like you got to be careful, man. And he's just not. He's crazy.
It's up there with like I hate saying this dude's name, but he's up there with like Tom Cruise and shit doing his own stunts.
Yep.
A
Yep.
lot of
He's
this
getting he gets beat the fuck up.
a lot of the stunts in this movie you pretty much can't fake.
No.
Like when
No.
he like the worst stuff that happens to him, in my opinion, is like when he's up looking at the pipes and the pipe bursts and it's just blood spraying his face. You can't fake that. Like it was the 80s.
No.
They couldn't do that with digital, and even if they could, they probably wouldn't have. So
No.
were like,
Didn't have the budget for it.
yeah, like that's all that is real. And you see him, he's like tripping over a chair some of the time. It just looks like a guy throwing himself over a chair.
Yeah. Oh, dude. And then the second movie, it's even worse. A bit more information on the cabin, really quick. When they were living in it, there was no heat,
Nice.
no plumbing.
Nice.
Nope.
People got sick frequently, and they all had to go days without showering. This is
That's-
all according to legend.
But do you know? I mean, did they shoot this? Was it a long shoot for this movie, or did they do it in a couple months?
I don't have that. I don't have in my notes. I don't know how long this movie took to make.
Let's see.
I know that they were there for the winter, and that sucked.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
A Midwestern
filmmakers
winter in
left
a cabin with no heat.
So supposedly the filmmakers left Michigan to avoid the harsh winter and shot in Tennessee. Tennessee ended up having one of its coldest winters on record during production. At times, the crew burned furniture from the cabin just to stay warm.
Dude. So Google just says that it took about 3 months to
Okay.
do the shooting.
3 months in the middle of bumfuck nowhere cabin in the
And
winter.
It was late in the year. So probably like the last couple months of the year.
November.
Yeah.
I don't know.
October. Had to be
'cause
somewhat October because it was green still.
when you see like a
Yeah.
lot of the exterior stuff, it looks like it's just fall. So I would
Mhm.
think it'd probably be around like end of September maybe, but
They were like
I mean, it
getting
could get pretty
to the
cold
winter
depending
area.
where you're at. Yeah.
So
I would not want to be there during the winter.
Yeah, no, fuck, I'm good on that. But yeah, I mean, that's just some of like the tidbits. I have some I'm going to save for the end of the show because I think, it's just really cool. But to piggyback on Alex's Demon Cam, though, yes, it was them like it was a homemade camera rig that Raimi and his crew literally ran through the forest carrying the camera on improvised supports. they were just running through shit with the camera.
Just hoofing
Like-
it through the woods.
There's a very famous version of the demon cam in Evil Dead 2 that I think you're really gonna like. I'm not gonna spoil it here, but it's very early in the movie. It's an awesome fucking shot. But our I really love our protagonists. Ash is like one of my favorite characters in horror movies. He's like the guy of the movie, right? Like he's literally has to watch all of his friends, his sister and girlfriend die. He has to basically kill them.
His sister
Twice.
and his girlfriend, not his sister
Yes.
and girlfriend.
Oh, sister and his girlfriend. my bad.
Watch them die twice because they come
Yes.
back.
Yes. Well, they don't just.
He
they
almost
keep
has
coming
to.
back.
He was about to cut his girlfriend in half with a chainsaw.
Well, you know,
I mean,
it's the only way.
I
It's
mean, maybe
the only
that.
way.
I know that the chainsaw thing comes back, but I was like, no way is he about to do that?
The chainsaw thing comes back in a way that is the most. It becomes the most iconic thing. When you think after you see the rest of these movies, you're gonna see a chainsaw and go, "That's Evil Dead." No matter where
Yeah.
you see a chainsaw, you're gonna go, "That's Ash Williams." That's fucking awesome. More on the actual behind the scenes later. Alex,
So,
Evil Dead 1.
What do
What
they-
is your thoughts on Evil Dead 1? Maybe more so opposed to Evil Dead 2 going forward. But like,
Well,
how
was
old were you when
telling-
you first saw this film and stuff?
fuck, dude, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Little,
I was like 7,
Like-
8. Yeah.
dude, I don't remember, dude. It's been so long, but this is one of them. This is like probably top 3 of my all-time favorite horror movies for sure. This gets rewatched often,
Every year, multiple
Well,
times for me.
dude. You're bored, put it on. Oh, internet goes up, throw in the DVD. Like it's I don't know. Evil Dead is just like, this is horror. This is like the first Evil Dead is horror, and then like with the rest, like you were saying earlier, it starts going more slapsticky throughout the rest until you get back into the newer ones.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know, just the first Evil Dead is perfect in my eyes for what the hell it is. I know it might be a little biased. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is just you love Ash. You feel for him with it through all of it because like this just sucks. That whole scenario sucks. Like
He's
that's just like,
tormented.
dude, to the point to where like most people probably just fucking take their own life at some point.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck else do you do? Like,
Dude, from like just the cellar door shot where at that point it's his sister just down there, just pure demon mode, and you're just watching. And to go back, one of the most iconic scenes of the movie is what is referred to as the tree rape. If you've seen Evil Dead, you know what that is. If you've not, prepare yourself. It's not as shocking anymore as it was when I first saw it, because it was coming up, and I remember Noah and I were watching it, and he's like, "Oh, what the hell?" Like, but it was. I remember just going, "Okay, it's not as bad as I thought." And I was like,
yeah,
it kind of just punched her in the vagina.
yeah, it did. It's clear what was supposed to be happening there because it was ripping at her clothes and everything. I kind of wanted to see more of like the forest stuff. Settle down, Alex. I just wanted to see more of like how is the environment is like turning on these people, because you get the tree thing, but that's pretty much it. Like that's sort of all you
The
get.
bridge is destroyed from the forest.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
I think it would have been cool like to see. I mean, because we get the tree that comes through the window. I think that's also part of it. I guess I'm not sure. Maybe like if the lake had been involved in some way, it like makes a cyclone or something. I don't know.
you'll
Like a big spiral.
throughout the series, you'll see nature do a bit more, but really what you're seeing, like even in like the 2016 remake, is it goes back to like a brutal. 2016 is brutal when it shows the tree rape scene, because it's like, damn,
They
like,
did it
it's
again?
way more graphic.
oh, it's
Oh.
bad.
but it's still Evil Dead plays within its own bounds, though. It knows how far to take certain things without taking them past a certain point where it's like, this isn't fun anymore. That's why I think these are great horror movies, because it's shocking at times, it's in your face, but it has a boundary. It goes, all right, we don't need to cross this line to keep the audience and shock them. We can shock them with just the violence and brutality, but there's a line we don't have to cross.
Right.
And that's why I love these films. But yeah, no, I mean, the demons and the Necronomicon and how it all plays with the environment and the people and like the cabin rather. I see what you're saying. I would have loved to see it do a little bit more. But back then, there's no way they could have done it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's
I had
basically how
a-
you'd have to explain that, you know?
Kind of throughout it, I had a question I thought I was going to pose it to you guys. How, because throughout the movie we see one person gets turned into the demon by the tree, and then sort of throughout, like, other people either slowly or just out of nowhere just turn into demons. How how do we think that like the transmission of that works? Because Ash, some people, like, the guy got like bit while he was fighting with Shelly, I think, and then he turns into a demon and see it like kind of slowly. It's almost like a zombie turn. And then you look at him and all of a sudden he's a demon now. But Ash gets like cut and bit and scratched and stabbed and like covered in fluids from all of the demons, but never turns into one.
I can't answer that right now for you.
Oh God, that's satisfying for me. That's satisfying for me now.
There is nothing I can really say about that leading into what we're about to watch, because it'll kind of self-explain that here shortly. And it's not a cop-out. And I know there's gonna be some people out there who listen to this goes, oh, you just don't know. No, I understand the concept of this. And you should as well. Like, it's explained.
But later.
It's visually explained, like, oh, that's why. And when it happens, you're gonna go, whoa. It's like a ball drop moment. You're like, holy shit, okay, this is crazy.
We're gonna find out that Ash was a demon the whole time.
I'm not saying that I can. I'm not.
That's I'm gonna I'm gonna lay out. That's what I'm gonna lay out as my prediction. My official prediction is that Ash was a demon the whole time.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
We'll write that
I'm
down.
telling you, dude, and mark my words on this right now on the show. Army of Darkness is going to be Noah's Evil Dead.
Probably.
That's going to be the movie that he will forever remember this series with, and go, yeah, this is a movie I will show my eventual kids, because I cannot wait to show Landon Army of Darkness. Army of
I'll show
Darkness
the
is
dog,
something.
but she probably won't care.
Yeah. Army of Darkness is a movie I've shown Landon already.
Would you show him this?
Yeah, I'd probably show him this like in a year or two, because it's easily explainable. And like, even like when he's seen this stuff and I'm like, hey, go away, he goes, no, it's fake, it's okay, it's just a movie, Dad. He likes this stuff though. Like, he's gone through, because I used to have Evil Dead 1 and 2 special edition, and they were both the Necronomicon prop DVDs. So they came,
fuck you.
Yeah, well, I don't have them
That's
anymore.
awesome.
And
What happened to them?
Bad old roommate, so who was also an Evil Dead fan, and when he moved out, he took those books from me. But
Son of a bitch.
So if you look them up, there it's literally called the double pack. It's like a double Necronomicon Evil Dead movie pack. They come in the books themselves, and you could, there's pages, and the DVDs are in the pages, and they feel disgusting and awesome, but they're great showpieces. But yeah, no. God, I love Evil Dead. They're expensive collector's items now, I believe.
You said are they DVDs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Evil
that's
Dead.
awesome.
Yeah.
I do have a steelbook of I have the steelbook of the Evil Dead.
Well, you can buy
Blu-ray and
this one
DVD.
for $110 on eBay.
Nope, not doing that. I paid $50 for my copies.
I want to talk about that Book of the Dead.
Yes.
What an awesome prop. And when they find it, it's such like a good moment where I mean, while we were watching it, I was like, so I find this book that looks like it's made out of skin, has a face
Yep.
on it, and has a bunch of pictures of like skull and bone
Inked
statues,
in blood.
which is written in sigils and rituals that are written in blood. And oh, hey, what's this next to the book? Oh, it's the bone statues that are drawn in the book. Let me just fiddle with this for a while.
The Kandarian dagger is there as well.
Yeah.
And all that. And for that prop, I believe they only had like 1 or 2 of those.
Got it.
So they had to be very, very careful with that because they didn't have fucking money. I believe there was only a few of those made. And I believe it got fucked up pretty hard during the production of this movie. Like everything did on this set. Nothing was treated with care.
Yeah, if they had that, if they had that now, or if they did that now, they'd be selling plushies of that book.
There is already plushies of the Necronomicon and stuff. There's so many Necronomicon type like merchandising that you can get. I love that. I love the Necronomicon design of this film. I love it. And it only, to be clear, it only gets better from here. The Necronomicon design in 2 and Army of Darkness only get better. I will say the newer films, while they do keep the comedy, they kind of steer away from the face on the front just a little bit. I mean, you could see there's like an ear and shit like that. But like, I really love, like, if you look at the Necronomicon, you can see the face that is like embossed in it. And you're like, God, that looks so fucking good. And it looks proper and creepy. And it's just the flesh that's just like been dried into this book.
I kind of like the idea that it's sort of hodgepodge. Like there's maybe like the nose of a face, and then like when you flip over the book and there's just an ear like in the bottom left. It really it's just a really great prop. Like I would have loved to have seen the ones that they passed on before they came up with that.
Adam Savage did a video on the Necronomicon prop that you can look up, and I believe he creates his own the exact way that Sam Raimi and all them created it.
Oh yeah.
So really?
Yes. So that is an awesome video. It's a great video on how they did that, because everything they did practically for this film is just so brilliantly done, and it only gets better, with exception, because and I'll point these out when we watch Evil Dead 2, but there are multiple times Evil Dead 2 you're like, oh, I can see the suit splitting right there, and I can actually see your jeans. Or there's a couple scenes where they're running through the cabin, and they're on a stage, because if you look up, you can see the stage rigging and the lighting and all that. But like, they didn't have the money. I mean, they had more money towards 2 and Army of Darkness is where the money came in, and even then they were still like balling on a budget. But yeah, no, it's that prop is it's synonymous with horror movies. It's like the whole it's a grail of a thing. It's tremendous.
It's a huge part of pop culture now, just straight up. It is. So much from Evil Dead is huge into pop culture.
I think. Sorry, you go ahead.
No, like, I was gonna bring up fucking Honest and Fortuitous. Like, there's so much of Evil Dead and Honest and Fortuitous. It's kind of nuts. So
yeah,
it's everywhere.
I think a lot of people like in my generation know Sam Raimi for Spider-Man. That was our first introduction to him, and now going back and seeing this and like knowing a little bit of where this goes, it's fucking insane that they were like, "Hey, Evil Dead guy, you want to make a Spider-Man movie?"
Well, for me, it's the same thing with an artist and comic book writer named Jonan Vasquez. Jonan Vasquez created Invader Zim, right? So that fucking, kids cartoon, but it's like a little bit darker. Before that, he created a thing called Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Same dude.
Yeah.
I feel like that shit would not. I feel like that shit would not happen today. Like nowadays, people are so afraid of people's past that they're gonna be like, "Oh, a kids cartoon? Whoa, this guy did a whole bunch of violent stuff." Yeah,
came from Trauma, had edgy humor at Trauma, which you do at Trauma. People tried to cancel him before Guardians 3. And it's like, no, this is...
And he made some of the most successful movies in the Marvel catalog.
And now he's crushing DC.
Exactly.
And now he switched to DC, and
So
he
it's
put
like,
her,
shut
and he put
up.
Unk in it too. So like,
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
he
he,
did.
he knows his roots.
It's just it's crazy to
yeah.
crazy to think like I wonder how difficult of a sell that was for like whatever producer or whatever person was like, we should get Sam Raimi to do this, and then they were like, the others go home and they research Sam Raimi, and they're like, what are you, fucking crazy? But then you could see like a lot of Sam Raimi's horror elements in some of the like in Spider-Man and in his more
There's even some of the
recent
camera
stuff.
work.
Yeah,
There's more than that.
Well, Bruce Campbell's in each one of them too.
and the car,
Also,
Yeah, and the
the
car.
Oldsmobile.
the car.
Oh,
Yep, that's
cool.
Uncle Ben's car.
Let's talk about that. So that's a 1973 Oldsmobile Delta 88 Royale.
Freaking sick car.
What did he call it? The Classic? I think he called it like the Classic or some shit. It's been in the entire Spider-Man trilogy, Drag Me to Hell, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So it's been in all of his major films.
It gets destroyed in a good few of them.
It's
like
car.
the car from
It's
Trailer
so
Park
awesome.
Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or from each Trauma film.
Yep, the Kabuki Man car flip.
Yep.
That old Thunderbird.
So awesome.
Cool car. We could get one. Okay. There's a bunch of
them.
them.
I'm so down.
I probably made like 1 million of them, but the hardest thing be getting the 4-door one. Just cruising around in the Evil Dead car. How sick would that be?
I would cry if we could do that. Yeah, man. No, this is a instant. This movie is a classic. This is a easy A+ film. 10 out of 10. However you want to rate it. This movie is a masterpiece of filmmaking. It paved the way for more, and that's why Evil Dead is so important. I can literally feel my son running through the house right now.
Are you sure it's your son?
Oh yeah. He's
not
at school.
Not some demons out of the Necronomicon.
Nah, we cool. They cool with me. I promise. They like me. I've loved this movie since I was a kid. I've loved the entire series since I was a kid. And yeah, this movie it's A+. It's 10 out of 10. It's perfect. It's a masterpiece. And after the boys here give their, their ratings. Words on it, we will go into just a few more little things I have to say about the film, tidbit wise, and maybe it'll make you guys go, "Oh shit, that's cool." And one thing will make you sad.
Aw. Well, you want to go first, Alex?
I don't know. I want to hear you.
Okay.
I've been so ready for this.
So as this is my first time seeing it, I was very impressed. Like I had said before, we watched a lot of 80s horror movies with the Screambox show, and one of the biggest issues I have with a lot of them is they drag, and some of them are just a bit too long. This movie is exactly the perfect length. There is not a dull moment from the point at which they open up the book. It is all off to the races until the very end, which I'm curious about the end. I mean, obviously now we know that there's more movies, but I think the end, back in the day, if I had seen it, I'd be like, man, I wish they didn't do that, because now we're not going to get more, but we know that there's more, and it's sort of open-ended. But I would give it a 9 out of 10. I really liked it.
Awesome. Wait until Evil Dead 2. I cannot wait for him to see Evil Dead 2.
I know. I'm going to say 9 out of 10 because I got to give it somewhere to go.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Fuck. This movie, dude, I'm sorry. It came out. I had Taco Bell before this. This is like pinnacle horror again. Like when talking to Noah and learning that he has not seen anything to do with these movies, except he's joined in. Like, I'll be streaming it in Discord because, again, this is one movie that we watch constantly. And he jumped in for maybe a couple minutes, and then he left.
Yeah, like sort of in the middle of Evil Dead 2.
So I was like, this is horror. This movie is horror. That is the best way I can describe it. Yeah. 10 out of 10. Watch it again and again. Buy it in every media form you can.
This is a staple in the horror movie community. It's a staple in cinema, in my opinion. It's not just because it's one of the greatest horror movies ever written. It is in one of the greatest series in horror. this paved the way. This opened doors for everyone else who was like, okay, they can do it, we can do it, and if they can do it this well, we can do it this well, and that's why this movie is important. Um, I mean, the franchise exists because a bunch of 20-year-olds made a short film, knocked down some doors, and refused to quit. And even when shit went wrong, they still went through. And that is about as indie of a horror film as you'll ever fucking get. And that is the epitome of Evil Dead. It's saying, fuck you, we're going to do it anyways. And I would be remiss if I didn't call the demons by their actual names. And I can't believe I've let the episode go this far without saying they are called fucking Deadites. And that's what you need. That they're Deadites. They're not. That's their name.
They're not zombies. They're not demons.
The Wikipedia calls them Kandarian demon.
They are so they yes, they are Kandarian demons, but the further along you get, you learn to just call them Deadites. That's like what everybody will call them. If you go, the Deadites, they'll be like, yeah, the Evil Dead.
People know.
Yeah, same with Kandarian. Like I said, I have the Kandarian dagger like right there. The lenses that I brought up earlier, it would feel the reason it sucked was because like they were thick glass-like contact lenses that the actors could only wear for about 15 minutes because they prevented oxygen from reaching the eyes.
That sucks. What was that other? We watched another movie where the contacts were a big problem.
Oh fuck, I don't remember. I wish I could.
Oh, it was it was a Ghost House. It was the girl on the bridge who's with the white eyes. It was
Yep. Campbell said it was akin to wearing Tupperware over your eyes.
That sucks.
Were they real glass? Because I wouldn't doubt if they were actually like real glass.
Glass-like contact lenses, yeah.
Okay.
Like a polycarbonate, probably.
Yeah, it sucked. And I thought I had heard something where like to get that white, they'd actually inject milk under them or some shit like that. So I don't remember exactly. I'd have to. I was like,
oh my god.
I
fucking pink.
I heard that as well.
So the sad last tidbit I have is that the cabin is destroyed. It's been destroyed for years and years and years. The last thing that was remaining at one point was like the stone in the fireplace, but this was a pilgrimage site for a lot of people. Like Evil Dead fans would go there.
How did they find it?
I don't know that. I know that I had a buddy who moved to Tennessee because it was
to look for it.
No, he just moved there like over a summer, and it was I think it's like Morrisville or Morristown, Tennessee. And he's like, I live near the Evil Dead cabin. I've walked through these woods and I've seen it.
I wouldn't.
The problem is, it was on somebody else's property, and so people kept going to it, and it was like the fucking like the pizza thing with the Breaking Bad house.
Yeah,
like there's like, hey, stop coming here, and then it got destroyed. But yeah, that's the Evil Dead first Evil Dead film. We will be back doing Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, and Rise until we get to Evil Dead Burn, which that'll be another Evil Dead review, and we will eventually come back to Evil Dead 2016. We have
get hype. It's Evil Dead Burn.
When was the remake?
Well, Evil Dead Burn's coming out July 10th. Coming
2013.
It was sooner, later than that.
2013 is when the Evil Dead remake first dropped. Damn, that was a long time ago. But yeah, Burn. We will. God, love Evil Dead. And so you all know, we've been cooking up Evil Dead on the show for a while.
We've been waiting.
We've been waiting. So I'm glad we finally got to do this.
Good soup.
It's very good soup, dude. Yeah, no, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Noah. Thank you guys for hopping on. Thank you all for tuning into WASD and Beyond at the movies. We will see you guys next week with Evil Dead 2. And then from there, we're just going to have a blast. Thank you all for checking out the new show. It's just us, baby. You guys are our sponsors. Thank you for listening. Thank you for keeping the show afloat. Go check out Roll for Deception, WASD and Beyond. The YouTube is all getting uploaded this week. By the time this episode comes out, you'll see this on your YouTube feed because I've edited everything and got everything prepared, and it's great. I'm motivated and feeling good. So like, subscribe, follow, send this to your friends. Until next week, guys, stay groovy because that's what Ash Williams would want you to do.
Goodbye. Leave that book alone. You find
Yeah,
the
don't
book in the
touch that thing.
basement, do not touch it. Don't play the tape.
Return to study.